Hello chaps, how are you all doing today? It's John with you, and we're working on my little Panzer IV Ausf H with armour, and this is going to be my Panzer IV repair project. Repair as in it's in the repair yard, it's getting something done to the engine. Hopefully, hopefully. Now I was hoping to have the engine here, but unfortunately it still hasn't arrived. I've ordered it since last Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so it's been a week and a day and it still hasn't arrived. But we have had the hurricane over the weekend, and that would have totally disrupted post and things coming from England over to Ireland, so the ferries wouldn't have been operating. So what can I get done in the meantime? So in the meantime I've got, shall we say, here we go. I've got the bottom section done. I got all the wheels done. They're not glued in or anything like that. They've got poly caps, so they can all come off and they'll be all taken off for the painting of it. But I'm just getting everything ready for painting anyway. I do have a little bit of filling to do in here, but I want to wait until I have the engine, so I can pop the engine in and see will it fit and things like that first, really, because the engine set that I've ordered, right, it's an engine and it's a repair crew, the Tamiya set. And comes with two chaps and three other bits and pieces for, you know, the workshop area. And I've been reliably informed that the engine is off either a Panzer or a Tiger. But the thing is, the Panzer IV also used a Maybach V12 engine, right? But a smaller V12 engine than the Panzer IV and the Panther. So I'm hoping I still get the engine in, because all I want really to do is, as you see, I've cut out one of the panels here. We'll pop off the turret, because I have the turret done as well. I've cut out one of the panels. Now, easy enough, use the back of the hobby knife. I've gone along, painstakingly removed that. Right? So I have it in here somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Where are you? There we are. There's the inside of that. So that's going to be open. So it's going to be set up here in the open position. Okay. And hopefully then, when that fits onto that, I'll show you. So that's it. Pops on every time straight away until I decide to do a video, and then it decides to, there we go. Right, that'll all be glued down there, so you can see in then down here. Okay, so all you'll really see once that is on like that, you'll only see in that little hole. So if the engine fits in there, then you'll get to see that there's an engine in there. So, you know what I mean, you won't see this part of the engine, you will see from this angle and things like that. But, you know, we'll work on that, and I might need a little firewall and stuff inside there. But not really worried about that, as long as I can get the engine in. Alright? And if the engine doesn't fit in, we'll have to go to plan B. Is there a plan B? Well, there isn't a plan B yet, but there will be. So, what's today's update all about? That's what I've got done so far. Like I said, there's still a bit more work to do on the upper deck. I mean, I've the little machine gun in, drilled out the hole for the machine gun. It did take a little bit of filler here. Bad line on that there. There's a nice flipping big gap there. I went down through some other people's videos on making this, and they've all had that little gap, so it wasn't just something that I did wrong or anything. There is a big flipping gap there, so it had to be filled. So that gap is done anyway and it's filled, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So what I'm working on today, as you see, I've got a little tea light. My lighter's out. So therefore, we're going to work on the tracks. And I did say that I was going to show you how I do these tracks and how I find them so easy. And what a lot of people are doing wrong is they're overheating the screwdriver or whatever they use to melt them together. Okay, so we start off. You've got an extra little bit of a T-piece here, so we'll snip that off. Okay. Get a little bit of a rubber, so we should just make it nice and neat. There we go. Right. So there's our length of track, and we'll do the other one as well because we can get them both done at the same time. Right. I'll give that one a little bit of a clean off so it fits in nice and neat. Now, there we go. So, what do you do first? You go to the side that has the holes. Okay, this bit here with the hole. And you get a pointy object, be it a nail, a pin, whatever you have. This came in a set with cheap set that I got with hobby knives in it, and they were freaking crap altogether. But this pointy thing has lasted me forever, and it's a great job. I use it for freaking everything. Alright, so what you do is you go into each of the holes and just push down. Just give it a slight widening, see? It's only really just slightly made the hole that tiniest little bit bigger. Just makes it easier to fit in. That's all you're doing. You don't want to make the hole huge or anything like that. You just want to make it that little bit bigger. So we'll do that now on both of them. I feel weird not working with no music on, because I usually work away with music, and I won't put music into these because if I put music in the video it'll probably be taken down because someone said you can't have that, copyright strike, blah blah blah. So I use a little tea light. I find them very, very handy. Okay, so we light our tea light. Be careful with the flame and all that kind of stuff. Be careful. Health and safety warnings. I have the health and safety police in on top of me, so we'll wait until that to give it a bit of a flame. Anyway, we want some bit of heat in it, right? And what I also use, I use a small screwdriver. This is a small, really handy little screwdriver, not a massive tip in it. And we make up our track. Okay, we get the holes to fit in, and if you can see there, right, they're after popping in nicely, and thereafter they stick up just that slight little bit. Okay, so what we do now is, just with that in place, we heat up our screwdriver. Okay, now you don't need to get it red hot. I used to do it at the start. I used to have it red hot. You don't need it red hot, just warm. Alright, push it down on it. Push it down flat. Alright, and that will do our job. A little bit warmer than what I had. A tiny little flicking flame in this tea light. I should have used a tea light that it was already used, because they take a while for the flame to kind of to take. I did say I'd use a nice fancy new one for the video. Should have known better, shouldn't I? Right. Now, there we go. Small bit of heat and push down with your finger. When you push down with your finger, what it does is it flattens it back out again. Okay, I'm getting no heat with that bloody thing. So I used me Zippo. There's a grand flame in that. Just remembering that I haven't filled my Zippo in a day or two, so this is probably going to die on me as well. Right. Slight bit of heat. Push down with your finger. Same in the back too. Push down with your finger. Right. Not much heat at all, and it actually did the trick. Right, what you do then is turn it around the opposite way, and you get a little join. You can see the little join there. Right. So what I do then is a little bit of heat again. It's first handy just to have it warm and not really hot, because all you want to do is just to rub that down there. So what you're doing is you're melting the two parts together, and there you go, there's one track done. Okay, simple as that, lads. There's nothing major in them at all. They're quite simple, quite simple. And if you do these steps and take it nice and handy, don't overheat your screwdriver. That is the most important, not to overheat the screwdriver. You don't want it red hot, like I said. You just want it hot enough that if you stick it to your finger, you'll burn your finger. And you give yourself a nasty blister anyway. But you want to sort of take your skin off, says you, and push it down. Now the back tube. Now obviously it's much easier with larger tracks, you know, say for a Tiger or a Panther or the Sherman or anything, something that's got the bigger, chunkier tracks. But if you can do them with this size, you can do them with the bigger ones. And there you go. Like I said, when you're turning them around, put your finger on the actual join until you have it, until you have that little section there joined as well. Okay. Just in the center there, as you can see it, and push it down with your finger. Okay, and there you go. There's our tracks done. Simple, neat, not melted or anything like that. Now, for fitting the tracks, this is how I fit the tracks. I take off the drive sprocket. I make sure that your join is at the top. Fit it over the idler wheel and all the other wheels. And you can do this once it's painted. That's the great thing about it. Alright, slot in your drive sprocket, get it into the grooves. Right, pop it all around. Make sure you have it all in the things. Line up the holes and pop them down. And there you go, lads. Look at that. Simple as eating biscuits, isn't it? There you go. There's your rubber tracks. We'll do the same with the other one. Sure, why not? There's a pair of them there. Okay. Now, because I'm going to taking these tracks off again, I'm not really worried about getting the direction right. Okay. That's something you want to do for a finish. Make sure you have the direction of your tracks right. Some people say it's not important. Some people say it is important. Mr. Hamkar Burkus did a video there some time ago, quite a long time ago actually, and he showed that some historical pictures of tanks with the tracks on, and some were forward and some were back, and some were some tanks were there and said this side was one way and this side was the other. So he was saying basically it doesn't really matter, as long as they work, you know. So there you go, there's our second one on. Right, make sure our wheels are nicely in place, and there we go. There's our tracks done. So we can pop our little top back on again. Now you can get those tracks on before you glue the two pieces together. Personally, I find it very, very hard to do that. So what I usually do is I paint the bottom section, paint the tracks, then put the top on. Then just mask off that area and then paint the top. Okay, or you could paint the top as a separate piece. Glue them together and then do your your camouflaging section and your weathering and all that. So there's a little Panzer 4, half made, shall we say, with the tracks and all on. And that's how to do the tracks, lads. That's how I do the tracks, shall we say. Not how you have to do them. But it's a little tip. Don't overheat the screwdriver. Do not overheat the screwdriver. That's the main important thing. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it red hot. You don't need it scalding. Like at one stage there, I was saying, oh, I need something easier than this, and I went off and I got a soldering iron, and it was doing the job because I was only just barely touching off it. But once or twice I sort of left it there that little bit too long, and the tracks kind of moulded rubber and had to staple, and they didn't look right at all, and it was you're having to hide it underneath. But if you do it this way, you won't have to go hiding any join. Okay, keep it up there, yeah, but you don't have to keep it up there. You don't have to join it. Okay, and if you want, you can see that they work. Okay, so you can play around with them, and you can go vroom 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 and play tanks and go boom boom, and you know yourself. We all do it in the comfort of our own homes, in the privacy when nobody's watching. Of course, we do it, but we do it. I know you do it. I know you do it. I do it as well. So that's today's update, lads. There will be more. I was hoping, like I said, to have the engine parts and a few more bits and pieces done, but that's what's been slowing me up for the last couple of days. Is just I've been really just tipping around, not doing too much, waiting for the parts to come. Okay, so like I said, that's it for the meantime. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give it the old thumbs up. Give it the hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Down here in the corner, okay, you can see my little logo. You can tap that at any time during the video, and you'll be able to subscribe straight away through that. If you haven't already subscribed, that is, and if you have subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate it all. And stay tuned for future updates and things, and of course my weekly bum of a Monday, and we get this one finished as well, because I've got a little barn section. There's going to be a base. I'm going to have chaps working on the engine of this. A couple of other ideas spinning around in my head, but these are things that will sort of, when I'm putting together, I go, oh, that could be nice, and that could be nice, and some of the best ideas when you're doing a dia come not in the planning stage, but in the actual build stage, because you might have planned for, say, this to go one a certain way, and just won't do that for you, so you got to change it around. This is life. So I'll leave it at that, lads. Thank you all very much for taking your time out to watch this and watch me babble on, and I'll catch you on the next one. So stay safe, and in the meantime, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it. This is John, signing off.